Is your team not performing well? Is morale low and turnover high? Are you falling further behind the competition? I'm here to help. I'm your host, Shani, and this is the Leadership Show, where business strategy and culture finally meet, and we make the long-awaited shift from rhetoric to results. I promise I'm not your typical boring leadership consultant, and I will help you get your shift together. Let's do this. Hello, Leadershifters, and welcome to another edition of the Leadership Show with Shani. Do I have a special treat for you today? We are joined by Jeanine Hofs from the Netherlands, from about an hour south of Amsterdam. So everybody say hi to Jeanine. Jeanine is what we like to call an energy master. And I know that sounds like, wow, master, but she really is an energy master because she is a true mentor, coach, and consultant in all things energy management. And she teaches people techniques so that they can sustain their energy throughout their whole life and in the day-to-day of working, right? And leadershifters, we know how important it is when we're going after these huge goals to manage our energy and not get burnt out. And so we're going to talk about a lot of energy management techniques today with Jeanine, including the results of my energy type test. And that will lead to a discussion of perhaps what type of energy you have and how you can use that to relate even better to the people around you in your life. So Jeanine, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Shani. Thank you so much. I love being here and I'm excited.
Great. Well, let's get right into it. So give leadershifters a sense of exactly what you do.
Okay. I teach people and I help people with energy management techniques because I believe that energy is the most important thing you have. That's your biggest asset.
Yes.
And from there, you can achieve everything. So everything works from the inside out. So that's what I want. I want to teach people how they can master their energy, their biggest asset, so they can master their life, their business, their health, every area of their life.
Absolutely. Okay. And how did you get into this?
Yeah, I think I've been working with energy or interested in energy all my life. Already when I was a little girl, I read books from Anthony Robbins, my mentor and big example, also Wayne Dyer. And then I started to see that you can influence your life by thinking differently, feeling differently, and I'm a water energy type myself, so that means I like many things, many people. I'm interested in every subject. So at school, I wanted to do everything. So I went from making my own clothes and being a fashion designer to accounting to to programming. I'm a programmer in computer science, and then I ended up at the gym, the health club of my family, and that's where I learned the Western part of energy. So from mitochondria to ATPs, I know everything about energy on cellular level,
okay.
The Western side of energy. And then I came into contact with the Chinese philosophy and Chinese medicine. I started to learn that. It took me 4 years to do this study. Then I opened a practice in acupuncture and herbs, and I wrote a book on energy. And then, so I rolled into both sides of energy, the Western side, but also the Eastern side. And that gave me a complete new and whole idea on energy, because energy is so much more than going to the gym twice a week and eating healthy. It's so much more. And yeah, that's my world right now. Energy is fantastic to work with that.
That is so fascinating. I love the varied path that you took, and I relate to you so much because it sounds like you do some really left brain things, like the accounting and the computer coding, and some right brain things with the clothing design and the energy. Oh, I love it. And I think so many people have those diverse interests, and and don't know how to reconcile it. And ultimately, knowing your energy type will help you understand why you like certain things and crave diversity or not. So how many types of energies have you identified in your system?
Within this system, I work with 5 types because there are 5 elements in the Chinese philosophy. So that's fire, earth, metal, water, wood, and then you have fire again. And fire, and we have them all inside of us because that's what nature is made up of. And everything that lives or is there or is organic has those 5 movements. They're movements of energy. We have them all because we are a part of nature too, of course. So we have them all, but there's always one dominant energy. And from that dominant energy, you will make choices. When you are mad or sad, you will react from your dominant energy type. And I could talk for weeks, I think, about those energies. And it's amazing. And in China, they use this for warfare, to compose music, to reorganize businesses or lead those businesses, but also for your health. When there's something wrong with you, for example, when you have a headache, that's one of the signals of wood energy being in stagnation, for example. So it usually fits, and it all is like a jigsaw puzzle. It all is one.
Wow. Okay. So leader shifters, before we started the show, Jeanine and I were talking off camera. I woke up today with a headache, and I am wood energy. And so what Jeane's describing, that a headache meaning wood energy is feeling stagnated. So let's actually go right into the energy test that you had me take in advance of the show, and explain to the leader shifters, sort of what wood energy is and how you knew from my test that I was wood energy and what that means.
Yeah, so I have how I know that you are wood energy is because you took the test. And so I don't know you, and I have a big test and a smaller one you can do in 2-3 minutes, and then you have a good idea of what your dominant energy type at the moment is. And wood energy is like the energy of spring. So, for example, you don't look outside for 1 week because you're on a holiday or something, and then you return, you're like, what happened? Everything is growing and everything was like this high, the grass, and now it's that high. Wood energy has power, but never random. It's always organized. So people with wood energy high in their profile, they know how to organize, how to plan, and they also want to achieve things. They always have a goal, and they go towards that goal. They know what they want, how to get there, and they want to win. And like every element, this element has qualities, of course, and also has pitfalls, because we all have that. When you take a quality like the power to grow and to see the big picture, when you do that too much, you grow, you don't see the tiny details, or you don't have an assistant for the details, or you don't work together with somebody with earth energy for the details, then you will lose control of your business or your ideas, because and you never finish something because you're going to the next new thing, bigger and bigger. So that's what wood energy is, and it has qualities and also pitfalls when you exaggerate the qualities.
Yes, absolutely. I say that a lot, that many times someone's biggest strength, when it's overplayed, can become a liability. And so we have to learn to modulate and keep it in the strength zone.
Yeah. And also, and that's the beauty of this test I do with people, is then you know what to focus on. For example, for you, Jeanine, if you have wood energy high up in the profile, it's not good for you to focus on the tiny details, even if you have a business. You need to focus on the tiny details, but that you don't need to focus on those.
I get so frustrated when I feel like I'm in the weeds. I just want to come out. It's so true.
necessary. It's necessary for the business or for the job you have or do. But then you better work together with somebody who is interested and whose speciality is the tiny details. And they, for example, earth energy, they work a little slower. It's also your allergy, so you have to watch out for that. I always say it feels nice to hire people or work together in a team with people from the same energy, but you also have the same pitfalls. When
Sure.
you work together with an opposite element, then you're a little in fight modus because they're opposites. So you'll be annoyed from this person being slow or too exact or too much in the details. But it's necessary because it's yin-yang balance again.
So what's the opposite of wood energy for me?
Earth.
Earth, okay.
Earth and or metal, because you have 5, so there are 2 on the opposite. So the next one from wood you have fire. That's the next one. So that's wood is feeding fire, but you can put wood on the fire. But the opposite from earth. And if wood energy can, they say that the first next one is you can feed the element. The second next one, you can control that element. So for example, if earth energy is too slow because it falls, wood energy is the one to say, "Hey, hurry up a little, please."
Okay.
So that's the controlling part within these elements. But
So
that's
energy is grounded and stable, like you would intuitively think, yes?
Yeah. And it's also earth is very social element, always wants to please people, wants harmony within a team and within people, groups of people. Also is very diplomatic, doesn't like hard words, likes it a bit softer.
Okay.
And the pitfall in it is that people take care of other people more than they do about themselves. They never put themselves in the first position.
Yep.
So it has a little bit less of that. So earth energy is very sensitive to this, and yeah.
Okay.
So
and then tell us a little bit more about fire energy.
Well, fire is like the summer. So everything in wood time has grown, and then it's at its peak in summertime. That's the peak of yang energy. So there's a lot of heat, and those persons have a lot of heat too. They're like da, 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 da. They talk and they talk and they talk and they talk, and they love to talk to many people as much as they can. And this is fire energy. I'm doing this right now. This is very rising energy. They talk a lot, not very good listeners. They're very social. They don't like to be alone. They're very forgiving, the most forgiving of all the elements. Okay. They believe everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes, you make mistakes, so what? So I can mention them. So when you have somebody who is talkative and laughing and says, "Oh, you stupid hair," and talks again, and you're like, what did she say? But it's normal for fire, because they believe everybody makes mistakes, everybody has thingies, so I can mention them because I forgive them immediately.
Okay, so they're the ultimate extroverts.
Yes.
Got it. You know, as you're describing, I keep thinking of all the people in my life and being like, "Oh, he's a fire."
That's one. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, and how about water? You said you're water, so tell us a little bit more about water.
Sometimes a little difficult for me to say that, because then I talk about myself, so sometimes a little bit harder. But water is the energy of opposites within one element. So water can be very quiet and can be alone, likes to be alone, needs the most alone time of all the elements, but also likes to put in a little drama, or have red hair, or have strange clothes, or wear funny shoes, and water is a dreamer. Water has dreams, always knows, like water, where it wants to go, And when water is in its qualities, water knows there, I want to go there, that's my dream, and I will get there. I just know I will get there. And if you put a rock in my way, I will go, I don't fight the rock, I go over, or I pass it on the left side or the right side or both, and I even erode.
Or you pick it up and decorate the rock.
Yeah, for example, so you don't fight. That's the quality of water. You have trust, you believe, and you have dreams, and you go for it. And water people are always much and many. They like many things. They like to study everything. They are multi-passionate. Sometimes many of them know a lot of things. Yeah, knowledge.
Sure. That's fantastic. Okay. And then the last one is metal, yes?
Metal. Yeah, metal. Metal is in between earth and water. And metal energy types are most introvert of them all, I think. Water is double, is both. So metal is introverted and likes to be alone too, doesn't like big groups. So if you have an entrepreneur who is metal energy, you would advise him or her to create this online business, for example. You better not suggest doing a challenge with 5,000 people.
Right.
And, no. Go one-on-one. And then go do VIP packages, because they like the one-on-one connection, the real soul, deep connection. They don't talk with many gestures. So I'm not metal. They talk softly,
Yeah.
softly, and they like structure. So this is how we set up this plan. So we're gonna do it like this. This is how we play the game. And I'm getting really angry if you don't do, as you said before, if you don't play by the rules. So they're very attached to routines, structures, and doing as you should do. And that's a pitfall too, because other people could have different meanings or values in life.
Yep.
So that's a difficult thing. Wood or metal knows two things, white or black. So you always have to teach them, okay, what are you grateful for? And they're like, I'm grateful for the house. No, because I have to paint the roof. Oh, no, not the house. I'm grateful for my car. Oh, no, it needs oil change. I'm grateful for my clothes. No, because I gained a little weight. So I always have to put them in the middle. Okay, you can be grateful for 50% of it. Or, oh yeah, that's a thing too.
Interesting. Okay. So as you're talking, I'm thinking about some of the similarities of the various energy types to another assessment that I'm certified in and I use a lot, which is DISC. And I'm sure some of the folks that are listening and watching are thinking the same thing and saying, oh, well, I know my Myers-Briggs type or my DISC type or my insight type. There's obviously a variety of these different tools. So tell me how the energy type testing results is either different than, the same as, or complement some of these other assessments.
Mm-hmm. I think when you take the other tests and you put them all on top of each other, then you will see a red line. You will see, do you say this in English? A red line, a thread? That's what we say in the Netherlands.
Like a theme.
Yeah, you see a theme, you see similarities.
Yep.
And you should, because otherwise one or the other isn't true or isn't working. So they have similarities. And for me, what I like in those 5 elements, that you can use them on your physical health, your emotional health, your physical being, your emotional being. So for example, if I have someone, if I'm water energy, I have to be very careful with my knees and my back. If I have problems with my knees and my back, I know, oh, now I'm damaged, or that's too big of a word. I'm a little vulnerable in my main energy. So I really have to take care of this. And I also know as a mentor and coach, when somebody has certain physical complaints, then I know, I have to watch out for this energy, and I can give these tips to this person to strengthen that again, so that I'm right to the point. I don't have to to take the whole picture. I can go right to the point with it. So that's a big difference. And yeah, that's what I love about differentiating between and within those 5 elements. But you're right, there is you can compare those systems with each other, same as you can compare Myers-Briggs with the 4 colors, the disc colors.
Yes. Okay. Really interesting. I love that because it sounds like people will recognize the energy types from having done some of these other more corporate-y assessments, and your system gives people a way to manage not just like what their behaviors are, but like sort of who they are, and how they can help them manage their energy, which is kind of where I want to go next. Because to me, what is so intriguing about this is how to use it in an organization to help build the culture. Because that's obviously what one of the big things that the Leadership Project is about, is how do we help leaders build the right cultures in their organizations so that their people can thrive and they want to execute on the business strategy. So tell me how you would work with a company, and I know you can even give the example you were sharing with me offline. Jeanine is currently working with a software company, and all the folks at the company have taken this. So how would you work with a leader or with a company to implement this and help shift their culture?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question, because it's so important that leaders don't just theoretically lead the company, but they use the qualities of their people. So that they use, that's not the right word, enhance, so they can use the qualities for the best of the company. So if you can enhance somebody's qualities, if you can enhance somebody's energy, then they will give you everything they have. Then they will work with pleasure for you. Then they will feel free within the company. They will feel recognized. They will feel seen and heard. For example, if you are a leader in your company and you have a team, small or big, doesn't matter, and you know he or she is a wood energy type, he or she really wants to be heard. So let him, let's say it's a him, let him talk, because that's what fire wants. But also you have to be careful, because when you give him a finger, he will take your hand and arm and everything. So you need to be careful, because he will take over the company within like a week. So you need to give fire boundaries, for example. And if you have earth energy types in your company, you know they're very nurturing. They will be like the mother or the father of the whole team. So, and you can recognize those people by saying, "Oh, I really love what you give us. I really love what you do for this team. You're so gentle. You give away so much to us, and it feels wonderful that you take care of us. You feed us." Then Earth feels recognized, and they will give you more and more and more.
Right.
Water likes to be recognized for his knowledge. Metal likes to be recognized. Metal can work like solopreneur, very good, and is very good in organizing and structure, etc. But you need to help metal with metal likes. No, doesn't like, but is I'm looking for the English word. Sorry, I'm so sometimes the translation is a bit lost. Metal
Motivated by?
Is motivated. Yeah, it thinks in a negative way. That's the first thing metal thinks, in a negative way.
So they default to negative.
It's like a default. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So you need to help him or her to see the good things in the company, in the team, in what he's doing. Stop him and say, "Okay, now stop and smell the roses. What you did is wonderful. And do you see this or that? You're great." And then, metal feels good again, and then will work double as hard as before. And then you have wood energy, and wood energy are your leaders. Those are the ones who can network very good, who can coach a team, who can lift the team up to a next level and can see the big picture of where the company needs to go. So when a leader knows these characteristics and knows and recognizes what energy is in a team, then he can hire, for example, more wood energy into this team, or he can hire more earth energy for the balance. And sometimes I do these workshops with companies, and then I let them find out what energy types they are. And it's a great team building where they go, ah, okay, now I know who is fire. And everybody like, he is fire. Yep. And that's a great team building thing.
Sure,
and
everyone can appreciate each other so much better.
Exactly.
And right.
Exactly. And you know which tasks are for which types. For example, water, like me, can be very chaotic. So water needs maybe a metal energy type to work together and say, okay, first this, then that, not playing around with new things. Okay, finish it, and no chaotic behavior. Just do it. Okay.
Yeah. So I can see using this tool for shaping the team and for interviewing and recruiting and making sure that there's a diverse, all 5 elements on the team, because a lot of mistakes that I see people making is, oh, we want to hire people that are a culture fit, which in some organizations is sort of code for, we're going to hire people that are just like us, right? And as we were talking about earlier, if we're only hiring people that are the same, we're not going to have the breadth of expertise and skill set and so forth. So it's important to hire folks that are different and that can complement each other, so that it's more like, you know, we've woven a fabric of our team.
Yeah, then you have a whole, because 5 elements are always there in the company, in a person, in nature, and they'll always move together, like the elements or the seasons, and you need them all. So when you hire only fire and wood, it will be one screaming bunch of people always.
Oh God! Like I just like my body just hurt when you said just hiring a company that's all wood and fire, and obviously I'm wood, but I can't even imagine working with all people who are like me and fire. It would be exhausting.
Exactly. Exactly. And also for the people who are working in the team, it's so good for them to know their type, and it's good for them to know, how can I improve my energy? For water, for example, needs to rest, needs to shut down, retract, and be out of sight. And for fire, it means go have a party. For wood, it means, yes, it could be retract, but also go and do something with speed, or something new, or something exciting. And yes, for earth, maybe a massage.
Traveling all over the world.
Do you like speed? Driving in your car very fast?
Yep, so fun. All right, so let me play devil's advocate for a second, because there are leaders in the world who may be listening to this and going, okay, this sounds like a bunch of woo-woo bullshit.
Woo-woo, yes, it is.
So what would you say to that person?
You could see it as woo-woo. It depends on what you are used to. Because is nature woo-woo? Is it woo-woo that after spring, summer comes in, and after that you have the Indian summer, and then you have autumn again? That's not woo-woo.
No, there's nothing more reliable than the change of seasons and the
it's just
of the earth.
Yeah, it's working with nature, and I can explain. That's because I have a beta brain. I can explain to cellular level why this is, why energies of the same frequency attract each other, why the law of attraction works, and why it doesn't work if you do it the wrong way. I can explain this to you on cellular level, but it takes me a few hours to do so. So is it woo-woo? No, not at all. It is science, only we're not used to that. So it is the management techniques, the energy management techniques I use are soft techniques. Yes, that's true. It's not program, although, but then we get really woo. I reprogram people, I help them reprogram their own brain. Is it woo-woo to say, I need to shift my mindset? No, it isn't.
No, because that's just a lot of times what it takes to succeed, is to get unstuck from an unhelpful mindset.
And I do believe that in order for me to help my people best, is they need to be interested. They need to be curious about it. That's enough. So if you're curious about it, that's enough. You don't need to understand the whole process, because I don't need, I do understand how electricity works, but that's the beta brain. But normally not everybody knows how a painkiller works. Not everybody knows how the electricity works. Still you use it.
Right.
So you don't need to know every process, because if you did, you were expert in it, you would be doing this stuff. So hire your expert, and if you're curious, that's enough.
Got it. Okay. I love that. And in fact, I'm going to use that, because sometimes it is hard to get through to people who, are so, and maybe they are, let's see, the ones who are black and white are
metal.
Yes. There. Oh yeah. There. I wrote all my notes down here. So working with metals who see things in the black and white, and they're like, it's too esoteric to talk about elements. I'm comfortable thinking people are a high D or a low S, or, whatever, or, an ENTP, or, whatever it is. But those are those are assessments that have been made by humans. And not that they're not great. I love them. What I love about this is we're working with nature, with the natural cycles, and there actually is nothing more scientific than aligning with what exists on the planet, with Earth and the elements. This is very cool.
We're too much on the yang side. We're too much on the masculine side. That's the male-female thing, but yang is the masculine energy. We could translate it as masculine, and the yin energy could be translated as the female. Leadership, power. So it has nothing to do with male or female, but we in the whole world, and in businesses as well, have too much yang energy, and that's why many of those companies, they turn around slowly. You see that, and that are the companies who are most successful right now, and the ones who are stuck, they're stuck in this yang energy, controlling. I want it like this. We need to have a pyramid form of power. That's yang energy, and that's not balance. Only yang energy is like always daytime and never night. Always hot water and never cold water. It's not in balance. So and it takes some getting used to, but slowly, bit by bit.
Yeah, and it is. The world is changing so quickly that every leader in any organization, I don't care what industry it is or what geographic it is, if leaders aren't flexible and shifting constantly, they will fail, right? And we were talking about before the call that if there's no movement, right, then that just equates to death of an individual, death of an organization. So it's almost like leaders have to learn how to ride waves, right? To be surfers.
Exactly. But that's what energy is. It is waves. It's vibration, and you need to learn how to ride it. Exactly.
Yeah, ride the waves. And something you said earlier, that you might have a dominant type, but everyone has all 5 types within them. And so part of riding the wave is learning to access those non-dominant energy types when you need them in various leadership scenarios.
I would say stick to your own qualities, and then see the other qualities and hire them or work together with them, because you need to see them and know how they work, but I wouldn't advise to go and do that within your own profile. Stick to your upper 2 elements, then you will feel most in power, and you can reach the top easily. Okay. So it's energy costing when you go into the other elements too much. The only exception a little bit is water energy, because it has everything when you have when I have this profile in percentages, I see water energy types have all the percentages up in the list. So water and wood all close together, and the other elements have 2 on top, and the rest of them are a little bit lower. The water is much and many, so they have them all. They think they're everything. They know everything. They do everything. But the other elements just get tired of doing that, or bored, or angry in wood cases, or feeling lost for
right.
fire.
So I totally get that. It's like you see someone who's in the wrong role because
they're not in your element.
They're not in their element. They're not leveraging their strengths. It's like they're rowing upstream. I keep using these water analogies.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Right, so tell us, first tell us how we can find you and access both the short free version of the energy type test and the longer version.
Mm-hmm. The longer version takes you about an hour, and I offer these in my courses and in my retreats. I do online courses, and there's I'm filming right now in English language because I do this in the Dutch language normally, and before, and so there's an online training, and I also do retreats. So I take people to Spain and to the Sahara, in the sand, in the sun, to teach them all about energy management. And then that's where I offer those expensive tests.
Okay.
The free test, the short version is free, and you can find it on my website. It's my name, JanineHofs.com/free test. And it takes you about 2-3 minutes, and then you know your dominant energy type. So that's fun to do, and you will know, oh, okay. And send me a message. I would love to hear if it's true what you think, or is different than what you thought, or I'm curious about that.
And if a company wants to hire you, I know you live in Europe, but I'm assuming you'll travel to the States or other places to work with companies.
Yeah, I love traveling. So that's one of the reasons I go outside of the Netherlands, because Netherlands is too small for me. And so I like traveling, and I travel wherever the fun is, because that's my drive, fun. I always say bubbles, because when I'm in good energy, real energy, then I feel like champagne. It's bubbling. I have the best ideas. I'm most creative. I take the best decisions. I'm focused. I'm hyper focused even. I can work 8 hours straight, hyper focused on something when I have bubbles. So, and traveling gives me bubbles, so then I travel. But you can also do a lot of things through video calls. So I coach most of my clients through video calls, and it's up to them whether they meet me live or on video call, and it works perfectly.
Fun. Well, I think it would be really amazing for us to do a retreat together one day and bring all of our tools to a company.
Yes, if that's a good idea. That's a bubble idea. Yeah.
Yes, if you want Shani and Janine to come help shift your culture, you know how to find me. And I will loop Janine in. So thank you so much for joining us today. This was so much fun. And leader shifters, I think there are quite a few things for you to think about in the aftermath of this podcast. So first of all, think about finding out what type you are using Janine's free test. So are you fire, earth, metal, wood, or water? And then start to think about what type are the people on your team. Do you have a predominance of 1 or 2 types, or do you have a well-balanced team? How do you hire, right? Are you hiring people that are more like you? Are you hiring a mix of people so that you've got an entire, all 5 elements, right? And for those of you who are really stuck in using some of the other assessments, think about not replacing them, but supplementing them with trying to think about what energy types you and your team are, because this will help not only with shifting behaviors, but also help people manage their physical and emotional energy and how people talk and relate to each other, which is so important in creating the right culture on your team. See, people can only feel psychologically safe if they feel seen and appreciated and understood. And I feel like identifying which of the 5 energy types people are on your team goes even deeper than some of the tools that I know I've used in the past and that many of you are using.
Yeah. It also protects them from burnout and being ill, and that's an important thing in a company too, because it costs you a lot of money when somebody is
billions of dollars in healthcare costs.
Integrate again. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you for bringing this interesting perspective to the Leadership Show today, Jeanine. And Leadershifters, you know how to reach me, all of the various social media, and hello@theleadershipshow.com. And once again, Jeanine, give them your website.
Well, you can find me. Thank you, Shani, by the way, for introducing me, for asking me on this interview. I really liked our conversation, and I hope I can help your guests, your listeners, to get them more energy, to master their energy. You can find me at Jeanine Hofs. It's we need to write it down somewhere, maybe in show notes.
So JEANINE HOFS.com.
Yeah.
Great.
And there you will find me. You will find me on social media. I share tips and videos and all good stuff. And you can find the free test there as well. JanineHofs.com/free test. So look me up and send me a message. I would love that.
Okay. Thank you, Jeanine, and thank you, Leadershifters, for joining us today. Till next time. Mwah.